Hi guys, this video is to help you with the topic S6, solving two-step equations. So some of you, especially period 3 and period 5, we just went over this yesterday, so it might be a little fresh. So let's try some together. For this one, what I need to do, and I'm actually going to rewrite them, I have 2 is equal to 8 minus 2s. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line down the equal sign, and now I'm going to circle the term with the variable. Whatever I circle, whatever is outside of this red circle, I need to get rid of first. So I'm going to use my first step is additive inverse. So I'm going to get rid of this positive 8 by subtracting 8. And I have 2 minus 8, which gives me negative 6, is equal to negative 2s. All right, now that I have that, I need to use the multiplicative inverse. And to do that, I'm going to multiply each side by negative 1/2, which is the reciprocal, so flipping the numerator and the denominator, flipping it space by each side. And since I have fractions, I'm going to multiply straight across. Oops, not 1/6. 1/2. Right? 1 times, I have a negative times negative, so that gives me a positive. Remember, I talked about magnets that when you attract them, they make a big plus. Or the big tree of negatives. Oh, I think it was like the Bermuda tree of negatives for period 3. Okay, so I have 6 divided by 2 is equal to s. 6 divided by 2 is the same thing as 3. Okay. All right, I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to do a little bit harder ones to get to harder ones. All right, let's try this one. I have 3 is equal to m over 3 minus 1. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the line down the equal side because that kind of tells me whatever I do to one side I have to do to the other. And then I'm going to circle the term with the variable because I need to get rid of everything else outside of that, which I'm going to use the additive inverse for. So I have plus 1 and plus 1 on each side. And then over here I get 4 is equal to m divided by 3. Now I have to use the multiplicative inverse. Remember that there's an imaginary 1 right here. So this here is the same thing as writing 1/3 times m. So I'm going to multiply each side by the reciprocal or the multiplicative inverse of 3 over 1. So times 3 over 1. If I multiply straight across, I get 3 times 4, which gives me 12 is equal to m. And 12 is my answer. All right, let's try some harder ones. All right, some of you may run into a problem like this. And this one is a little trickier. It's not something that I would give you because it's not something that it's part of our standard. You might see it in some tests, but you'll see it a lot more next year. But it appears on IXL, so let's try to figure it out, okay? So if I rewrite this, I have W plus 24 divided by 9 is equal to 4. So what we have to do is we are actually going to do, if we were to draw that line, so let's draw that line, and circle the term with the variable, we would actually circle this whole thing. So there's not really an additive inverse. In this case, and this is unlike, and you know how yesterday I was like, almost generally in every single circumstance you are going to do the additive inverse first and then the multiplicative. Well, in this case, we are not. We actually have to get rid of that 9. So we're going to multiply each side by 9 over 1. Okay, so now these cancel each other out. I have W plus 24 is equal to 36. And now I can use additive inverse to get rid of that 24. I'm going to subtract 24 from each side. I'm left with W is equal to 12. All right, hopefully this video helped.